Hey, Roy here from OneLife Group. I just want to touch base with you and just invite you along to a very important event. We've got ignition on, and ignition is to ignite your soul as well as your heart, as well as your mind, as well as everything about you. What we're going to talk about in ignition is how do we make the transition from the JOB, the just over broke position, this job that you do. And for some of you here, you may even think you've gone into business and you've got a sole trading position or a corporation. That company, if you look closely, is part of the 95% issue where you're working for money, where money is not the servant of you, it is in fact the master. And when money's the master, you're the servant. In other words, if you're swapping your life for money on an hourly basis, then it's the master, you're the servant. Now, I guess you may not want to even hear that. You may not want to know that, but truthfully, I know you do know that. And I know there's a struggle, and I know also for some people it's quite frightening to do that wall of fear. That's what we call it, the false evidence appearing real. However, what's true? What do we really know? We know if you don't make that shift, it's not a 95% chance you're going to be a pensioner. It's a 99.999%. Because statistically, the knowledge, there's no jury out on this one. If you're not transitioning into creating income as an investor, either through property, business, or trading, or some form of income other than swapping your life for money on an hourly basis, you will be a pensioner. Because no one, and I mean no one, can substantiate a lifestyle without income. You need income. And if you want to be a pensioner, then I'd say to you, go on the dole now, start practicing, become a practicing pensioner, and then you don't have to, while you're still young, don't have to be stressed out or go through any of this. You could just say, well, this has been interesting. I've learned something, and my life is over. Now, of course, all jokes aside, this is not what we want. We want choice. We want happiness. We want some real fundamental things here. But more importantly, we want to also be an example for our children. So at our Ignition program, I'm going to teach you this step of moving across that wall of fear. And what I really want to do is build Financial Fortress. Now, this needs to be strategized. You need to do it in a way that doesn't take you out. It's not about giving your job tomorrow. This needs to be transitioned very carefully. And I'm very excited about sharing this with you because I have so many people who have transitioned themselves, including my good self. So the idea is Financial Fortress to create a million or two in residential property, $1 million or two in your super fund, $1 million or two in commercial property, and $200,000-300,000 income. So it seems so simple. It's not $100 million to be financially free. It's a relatively small amount of money. It's somewhere between $3 and $6 million. Now, we call this our baseline. We call this the place that you need to be. Yet, unfortunately, the average Australian and New Zealander is really basically retiring on $100,000-200,000 or something in this arena, and obviously some with even mortgages, some without even houses. So this is not a way to be able to have a holiday or really have some choices. So I want you to join with me and come along and be involved in this in such a way as that you can actually implement this. So this day is all about, for me, to really get to know you, to have you become part of a system of creating wealth. And I'm going to take you through this step-by-step process of $1 to $1 million. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is a get wealthy and keep it plan. This is something that anybody can do and achieve. There's a very simple step-by-step process. And my book, $1 to $1 Million, is now at 50,000 copies that have been published. So this is not something we just did just recently. This is something we've been doing for a long time. I know you can do this. This is valuable. So if you're serious, I'm serious. I'm committed to making a difference, and I'm really committed to helping you not only get your success, but to be able to pass it on to your children. That's my mission. And if you can pass it on to your children, you can pass it on to your grandchildren. Looking forward to working with you. Till then, with love and light, signing off, Roy McDonald. Please take action.